Awesome. I wanted to share an experience publicly, so I can just keep it here if anyone's interested. I did an exercise where supposedly it was under supervision, and um, there was the medical team nearby, and it's something that has an NDA on top of it, so you can't really talk about it. But I'll just say, like, the outcome of that was that you needed to relax, and if you didn't relax, you would faint. So the whole lesson was relax under pressure so that you can have a clearer mind. And if life ever puts you in a situation that is difficult, you'll have the clarity to like calm down and like take up perhaps less frantic action response. However, I was 16, I think, or 15, and I fainted. And it took me by surprise because I wasn't a religious person, but I did find spirituality interesting. But I had never had any experience that could be, I think, strange. But while I was fainted, I wanted to share my experience of what I saw and experienced because I've been really interested in all these NDE videos, and I just find it because I wonder if we all have experiences like these where maybe it's not that they're all very similar, but that it kind of helps us think that there is something more than meets the eye when it comes to life, when it comes to what happens after life. Um, like, why are we here? Just to answer questions. And I wanted to kind of keep give my account of what happened to me in case anybody else finds it interesting. So when I was fainted, this was kind of like if you're laying down and you see this at the top. So I saw there was this super bright light coming from, and as in with the dreams, it's human words trying to describe something that is, it feels inherently non-human. So it's kind of like light, but what color was the light? It's like it was a light coming from behind the heads of these beings, and instantly I knew they were like nice beings, nothing scary. um and the most wonderful thing happened, which was my body temperature, my whole body, every part of it was just perfect temperature. I'm not a fraction too hot, not a fraction of a degree too cold. There was no pain whatsoever, nothing, no pain whatsoever. And it just felt like a peace, and there was and so I remember thinking, like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. But there was a, whether they said it, whether it's that kind of thing where in dreams and meditations and stuff like that, the communication is more so like a knowing, and then I, now when I kind of interpret things in meditations and dreams and stuff, there's both a knowing inside, and also for me images kind of confirm that thing, so I get like the same message on two fronts, which helps me kind of understand it, I guess. But in this case, it was very simple. They were like, it's not your time yet, or you need to go back, or something like that. And mind you, I would have liked to have recorded my experience when it happened, because I would have been more perhaps specific as to the words, maybe. But so, and then I came back and we did the exercise a couple more times, and I then on purpose fainted because I wanted to go back to this, to see a little bit more, to be there a bit more, but it never happened again. So, but I still had a wonderful feeling of peace. Now, maybe, you know, that this was, a really dangerous thing and it shouldn't have happened, or maybe when your brain is starved of oxygen, like start seeing stuff, maybe there is nothing after death. But I wanted to have kind of my account, for as much as YouTube may allow it to be in posterity, just in case anybody else kind of experiences or has experienced anything like this. I put it in blue because I kind of remember the concept that there was blue, but I'm not 100% sure. And I think I remember hearing that there was beautiful music. but I can't relay what kind of that what music that was, or if really there was, because I wasn't really into music back then, so it's not something I think that I would know much about. But yeah, this was it. If there's any questions, it wasn't really too much. This was just it. I just felt amazing. I didn't want to go back, and they said it's not your time yet, and I went back down to my body. And I have seen a lot of NDEs where near death experiences where people are like, I don't want to go back. And some people are like, wait, but don't you want to go back to like your children or whatever? And these people, they're like, you don't understand when you're there. It's different. That perhaps this reality feels more real and waking life feels more as a dream. And the last thing I'll say that is related to this kind of waking reality slash dream reality, I was doing a 5 hour long meditation at a retreat, and there was this person in front of me who had, and this was the most important meditation of the whole retreat. And I was just like really putting, I just really, really wanted to experience things, which is so funny because I think the more you want to force things, like you're kind of missing the point. I think, I don't know. But this lady, their phone rang, and I was so angry. I was like, "You're messing up my 5 hour most important meditation." And in the end, this person woke up and turned it off. And I remember thinking, "Ah, that was just a bad dream, like a nightmare. I can go back to reality." And in that moment, only hours later, did I realize that while meditating, my meditation reality, like that other reality that I was in, was way more real than this real life that I'm in. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I think it's not as, I think a lot of these like spiritual experiences and stuff, they're not too strange. I think it's, at least for me, like I'm a person who has a family in one country and spends a lot of time in another country. And for me, it is, I feel like I have one reality in one country and another reality in another country. So I don't think it's so strange to think that there's like multiple realities, that once you embed yourself in one, and then you extract yourself and return to that one, especially if it other variables are similar. Yeah. So yeah, so I just wanted to share it in case there's anybody who's like, yeah, I had a similar thing. I just hope that we can all share, and even if it's just a figment of the imagination, well, that's so cool. And is there a kind of a generalized imagination that we can tap into? Are more people seeing like the same thing? Are we just influencing each other? Maybe subconsciously I saw something about a blue being there, and then the it gives me hope that I was pretty young. I was like 15, 16, because I have like been more interested about spirituality throughout the years and have read things here and there and blah blah blah. But I think this one was like probably the first thing. And then I do remember I was just meant a few years later, I was doing like I was blasting music, and then I was just dancing, 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 dancing. It was kind of like a meditation but in movement, but all I was doing was just trying to feel better. And I remember that I think I like, I don't know if I wanted to see them again or whatnot, but yeah. So I think maybe if we all kind of share little quirky things that maybe we saw or we think we saw or whatever, um that wouldn't that be interesting? Maybe spirituality as a thing would be more commonplace, less of a woo woo thing, or maybe it still is, and maybe this is just nice imagination. But mm, yeah, let me know if you've experienced stuff like this.